reaching the breaking point on some things, this being one of them. I no longer have a bunch of cabinet storage for all like my small stuff, hardware bins, stuff like that. And I want to use my workbench. This is how I packaged it, or packed it all up in the shipping container. I just piled stuff on it, basically sprayed everything down with WD-40, and then plastic wrapped the whole thing. And that's the exact same way everything was when I loaded it up in my last shop. So I want to use my workbench again. Don't have any hardware bin storage location yet, so I just left Harbor Freight with one of these. $150, if I'm not mistaken, for a rolling cart and 72 bins. And these bins are, every one of these bins is larger than my bins that I have over there. So this should completely cover my hardware needs for the immediate time being. And also the bottom shelf on this thing is large enough that way I can use empty Folgers cans as more hardware storage, which is a huge plus because I've been holding on to these big red plastic Folgers coffee cans for something like this. Had a busy morning. We've already gone on our walk, and Tyler Kay's been outside playing with the dogs, and everything's been great. And then she crawled in the cage a little while ago to I guess lay down with the dogs, and I think she's sleeping. So let's go see if she's in there sleeping. Good morning, everybody. Today's focus is on this lean-to area. All this stuff has to come out. My truck's in here because it's been leaking oil for a while. Excuse me, it's been leaking oil for a while, and just a little bit. Just not enough for me to really want to tear it apart. You know what I'm saying? I think it was the rear main seal. I thought it was the rear main seal, so I was like, I'm gonna kick that can down the road just a little bit longer till the shop's set up and we're ready to work on things. But now it's leaking profusely, so I've got to keep a bucket underneath it, or an oil pan rather, and I've also got coolant pulled up in the valley on the intake. So I don't know what's going on with it. I was about to tear into the engine and start tearing it apart, see what's leaking, but I don't have time to do that. We've got a couple other things that we really got to get done anyway, so I got to pull it back out of here and pull everything else out of here that's on the lean-to, and I'm going to build this up with concrete washout. Just get the lean-to done. That way I can come and work on this at my own convenience. Once the washout's done, once the ground here is packed in and it's done, then I can leave a vehicle here for an extended period of time, and then work on it at my own convenience, and not have to worry about tarping it or anything like that if I'm working on it outside the lean-to. Don't want to work on it inside the shop because, well, I've got all kinds of other stuff going on in there too. I'm still waiting to find this unicorn forklift to get the job done inside the shop. I don't want a huge forklift, so I'm searching for a small forklift that has a greater lifting capacity, like a 3-stage mast. So that's going to be that's a continuing process, an ongoing process. What else? I think that's the last to update you on. Oh, another reason why I want to get this lean-to done is I want to get the lights put up out here. There's really nothing stopping me from putting the lights up out here other than getting the actual ground and washout done. Oh, hey, little man. Another dog joined us. All right. Good morning. I'm getting to work. It's fun to be able to see the change in the fog. I came out here this morning and the fog was, it's real dense fog right at the ground. And then I left to go to the gas station to get some diesel, and the fog was up here, and now the fog is way up here. It's pretty interesting to see it actually move. caked all inside the valve stem because I lost the cap. All right. Zero PSI. First time airing up these big tractor tires with my actual big air compressor. So I've got my air compressor right inside this door right here, and I think that's the best place for it. But I need to get compressed air outside, so I don't know where, but somewhere above these windows I want to put some black iron pipe or something to give me a drop right on this side, maybe even on that side of the door, and then one in the middle and then one at the end. And then on the inside I may take the air over above the garage door on that side and pop out that side so we can come down where I park the truck and where I park the non-daily driver vehicles. Oh, we're only at 8. So this is going to take some time regardless of what compressor. However, this one is indeed faster. Of all the tractor implements that I've used, I would say for the rear grader blade is the most fun to use. It allows you a lot more creative control moving the dirt around, and I really like that. So 6-foot grader blade. This is a bad boy model. Speco quick hitch, and kicking on the air compressor. Well, maybe I guess should get back to here before I blow a tire. Front tires at 26 and 45 max, so I'll put it up to 40. Oh, I couldn't have done that again if I tried. 12 PSI. And all 4 tires were low. Big time low. Alright, all this stuff is easy to move. You just pick it up. This, on the other hand, I moved it here with the pallet forks, and coincidentally yesterday a relative borrowed my pallet forks, so I don't have pallet forks. So I think I should just use these D-rings and hooks probably to lift up on this handle and pull it, keeping all the stability on the rear tires, which might be a little bit sketchy, but we'll get it done. Yeah, we'll get it done. Alright, we are prepped for the washout. I've already built this up a little bit, mainly along this wall with sand. Did you hear that bell? I don't know if you heard that bell, but we're training the dogs to use a bell when they want to come outside. Are you using that bell? Oh, you moved that bell. Were you about to do it? We're about to let them out? High five. Look what happened to everything. Where did it go?
You took it down.
I did take it down because I'm going to build this back up and then finish the lean-to floor, and then I'm going to put lights up out here finally, so we don't have to use flashlights outside. So anyway, this is the bell that we are training the dogs with.
You moved it.
I didn't move it. They knocked it down. And moved what?
I mean this. I did.
Oh, the scaffold? It's in there. I don't know how these bells are supposed to be, Let's go with that. Anyway, the dogs hit this bell and let us know to come outside. All right, so all of this, what are you barking at? Is Mama coming up here? So many distractions, holy moly. Oh, you're barking at Mama way down there fanning. Oh, I gotta teach her how to fan a flame. Do you want the leaf blower? All of this area out here looks way better on camera than what it does in person. There's still a lot of lumpies and bumpies in all of this area. So I'm just trying to pack it in until I get some areas that are nice and hard, and any areas that are soft, like this area right here, I'll just keep piling more and packing it down. There's so many different things that shoulda, woulda, coulda, but I didn't, you know. Should have used some of that geotextile fabric or whatever that stuff is called. Well, I don't think that stuff works too well if your base layer below that is kind of soggy. I should have used larger stone right here. I've been trying to get number 4 rock, which is like I'm sorry, I think it's about 3-inch size rock. I keep saying rock. Stone. There's a difference between rock and stone. Rock is naturally occurring stuff that is its own size based upon erosion, if I'm not mistaken. And stone is something that is crushed down to a smaller size and can keep being crushed down and crushed down and crushed down as much as you want. So this right here is number 57 limestone. So this is limestone that's crushed to a certain size. Number 4 is much larger stuff, and that's what I should have started, and what I wanted to start with on the super soft areas, because that gives more surface area to push down. It's harder to push down, and it all kind of locks together stronger. That's always been what I was told. And then also my uncle has it at his tractor shed, and it's locked in, let me tell you that. However, I can't find it. Can't get anyone to haul it. So yeah, there's a lot of different things that I shoulda, woulda, coulda, but for one reason or another, this is what I'm left with. So we're doing pretty good. All of this tan colored stuff, that's the concrete washout, and while it does have a little bit of water here and there, that's a low spot that I need to take care of. You can still drive on it, no problem. And this stuff doesn't, even right here in the water, it'll squish around, but it's hard underneath it. So you can drive on it, still enough traction. I'm just still working on the water control. I got a couple more passes over here where I need to shift this material this way to build up right here. But this swale that turns into a ditch right about here, that's working pretty darn good. This still has problems, but that has helped tremendously. And now I'm just twiddling my thumbs waiting for my delivery. I mean, he's going to start piling it right here, and I'll pull it in. And if he's faster than I am pulling it away, then he'll start piling the load 2, 3, and 4 or whatever over there. But I would like to stay in front of him and just keep pulling and dropping, pulling and dropping, and hopefully have this first load gone by the time he brings in the second load. right, I got a bunch of it relocated. I wouldn't say spread out yet. Relocated. You see my footprints through here? This stuff is way too wet to pack down. Yeah, it's just way too wet. So there's some inconsistency with the loads. The first load is over there, and that is pretty darn hard already. Well, I wouldn't say hard, but it's at the perfect consistency to start packing down. Ugh, this stuff is like walking through quicksand. All right, so here, this is what I'm looking for. We're packing down, and I can see the tire treads. There's a little bit of deep area right here. No rutting though. This is what I want. That's the perfect consistency to spread it out. Load number 2 and 3, and well, I haven't gotten into 4 yet, but I would imagine it's the same as 2 and 3. It starts to get higher in moisture content, and you can't do anything with this. You just drive through it and create ruts. So anytime that the material squishes to the side rather than packing down when you drive through it, that's just too wet to work. So I was hoping to get all this stuff packed down nice and good today because we have rain tomorrow. That way we could park under here tonight, but that's not going to happen. So I'm not even going to mess with this area anymore. There's plenty of material here. I just needed to dry out just a little bit more before I spread it out. And this will take, I've noticed this stuff takes a few rain and dry cycles for it to like really dry out to where you can pack it to its final consistency. You know, like our driveways, that's packed, that's not going anywhere. So this will be something I mess with, and in the meantime, my wife will have to park outside, which motivates me to get this done. So I thought that it was going to take at least three to fill that in, and it's more like 2. So now I've got a big pile of stuff to work with that I'm probably going to pull most of it over here. The center driveway area, this is all nice and packed in, nice and hard, all the way into what was the, the carport area right there. That was all nice and packed hard. This is nice and packed hard. The washout that I put up here is a really good second base layer on top of the sand for this limestone to really grip and hold down. You can see the lighter colored area here, it's evaporating, it's starting to dry out. This down here is staying wet, and it's kind of aggravating because there is a slope. Let me back up and turn around here. There is a continuous slope all the way through to that section over there where the swale is. It's a continuous slope, and there's a couple spots that it just gets super muddy. The water will roll off, but it absorbs quite a bit right there, and then it becomes ruddy and blah blah blah, and I'll move it around with the tractor. So the washout that I put right here, that spot right there, and then this spot right here isn't compacting well. It's not drying out, to be honest with you. So I think I need to just build this up just a little bit, build that one little spot up just a little bit. Everything else is good, and then build this up, feathering it back into the driveway because it's probably not showing up, but I've got a ditch going over there. So all the water going that way catches the ditch, goes this way. All this water comes this way, catches this ditch, and goes that way. The drainage systems are in place if I could just get the mud to dry out, because the ground just simply doesn't dry out in the wintertime in Mississippi. It's just it's the rainy season, so we're wet all winter long. This is honestly just the worst time to do this. If I was to do this in the summertime, it would be, I mean, it would be packed in nice and good in a short amount of time. So this stuff over there. It is a beautiful day today. 2 days ago, the day before yesterday, I spread all this concrete washout. Well, not really spread it out, basically dumped it in this lean-to area, which I commonly call a carport, and I'm probably going to keep calling it a carport, this lean-to area. And it was way too wet to actually spread out and start packing down when I spread it out. And then yesterday, it was like a monsoon out here. Everything behind me it's soaked. I have to keep reminding myself that all of this really annoying mud and groundwork and blah, 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 all this stuff, if I had it my way, I would be doing in the summertime where it's drier and it's easier to actually move stuff around, you know what I'm saying? But I'm doing it as I can, which is in the wrong season. So it is what it is. I keep taking 2 steps forward and 1 step backwards. All this is too wet to spread out the day I put it down. It's pretty good now. And by pretty good, I mean, like, these are my footprints from when I threw it down here, right? I'm not sinking anymore. As a matter of fact, it's already packed down quite well. I didn't leave any footprints right there, but it's brittle enough because it actually wasn't really packed. It's brittle enough to move it, right? So I'm going to get out here with the tractor and move this around as much as I can. I think I have to switch back to the box blade. Here comes the wind. The wind is going to help us dry out, so I'm not complaining about it too much. And it's like 70 degrees right now. January 31st, and it's 70 degrees. I think it's supposed to be 74 today. Again, 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Because all this stuff had so much water in it, I had it delivered right here, and then moving it around into the lean-to, I tore up a lot of the stuff that I've already had nice and good here on the driveway area. And then also, I think I have two root ball holes that are in this driveway that are just giving me fits. They just keep sinking in. One of them being right here. I don't know if I'm pointing at that or not. This spot right here, it's holding water. I built this up and it goes back down. I built it up, it goes back down. So what I think I need to do is take a couple scoops of material out of here and then put all these huge chunks back down into the hole and then pile on it again. I've got more washout over here. It's just blah blah blah, same stuff over and over again. I think if I was to do this, like I said, during the summertime when it was dry, I don't think I would have an issue at all and get it done pretty quick. But one thing that I did pick up today to hopefully speed up the process of packing everything down is one of those vibrating plate compactors. Picked this up from Harbor Freight today. I still have to put it together, obviously, so the plan is to swap out implements on the tractor to the box blade and get all this spread out as best I can, and then in the dry areas start packing it down for good and be done with it. This is plenty good enough material to pack down and get really hard. Just needs to dry out a little bit more. It is a few days later, several days later, and I had to stop because this washout was just too wet when I initially dumped it. The following day, a monsoon hit us. Like, we had 0 rain in the forecast, and we got what felt like an inch of rain. It was insane. None of the forecasted people said any rain, and then pops up, whatever. Mildly frustrating. Then the following day was way too wet. It's been a couple days drying out, so it's been like 5 or 6 days since I actually dumped this stuff on the carport, the lean-to. And what's really frustrating about this is I didn't absolutely have to get this done right now. I just wanted to. And in the meantime, it stopped us from being able to use our carport, the lean-to. So my wife has had to park out in the driveway during rain. I say wife, all of us have. And It's just kind of annoying. So I want to get this wrapped up if I can today. It's dry enough in there. However, due to the rain, we've got some puddling right up front, and because it was delivered with so much moisture content in it, I basically tore up my beautiful parking area with the tractor, moving it all around. So I'm just gonna keep tinkering with it and try and get it as best as I can today. And then tomorrow is another no rain day, and then the rest of the 10-day forecast is wet. So today and tomorrow, I want to get this finished up. Oh, there's all kinds of crap on this lens. I want to get all this finished up so we can actually park under here during the rain. That is, for us, incredibly valuable to be able to park under a roof. Huh?
What did you say?
It's just too wet. I thought this was dry enough, but it's still too wet. Ah, summertime!
I don't have hearing protection on, mister, so you screaming under here don't sound the best.
Huh?
I said I don't have hearing protection on, mister, so you screaming under here doesn't sound the best.
I love you.
No,
Hey, you can let the pups out again if you want. Tomorrow's another beautiful weather day. It's supposed to be 74 degrees. Tomorrow's February 3rd, I think. 74 degrees, sunny, nice breeze. It should help dry this out considerably. But if it doesn't, well, then I made a big boo-boo, because we should be able to park under here, and we simply cannot right now. Quick update on a couple other things. I'm running into this order of operations type of a problem. Same thing happened this past summer. Priority number one was getting the shop done, and there was always one thing just stopping us. So rather than not being productive, I'm trying to find other things to do. Well, the weather is really kicking our butts now. Between not being able to work much outside due to the mud, and then also not being able to do too much inside because, let's see, I need to set up my shop, all my major tools. I can't set up the major tools until I do the dust collection. I can't do the dust collection until I do the electrical. I can't do the electrical until I get a forklift or a scissor lift. Well, I found somebody who has one locally that I might be able to borrow, which would be awesome. It'll save me from renting a scissor lift, because ultimately, I want a forklift for inside. I just can't find what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a unicorn forklift, a really small, old forklift that lifts high. I don't need great lifting capacity inside. I want something small that's not going to damage my 4-inch concrete slab, and something that'll lift up to about 14 feet tall. I could put a basket on a 14-foot tall forks, and then me being 5'6" plus 14 feet, I'll be able to reach the 20-foot peak inside. So that means a 3-stage mast. So what I have realized with my research is a 3-stage mast is not common in a smaller compact forklift that doesn't have a huge lifting capacity. Honestly, if I can get like a 2,000 pound lifting capacity, that'd be plenty good enough for everything that I want to do inside the shop. The alternative is to get an indoor-outdoor forklift that I could use with the sawmill and logs and whatnot down the road. But the problem with that is anything that can lift, say, 6,000 pounds, 5,000 pounds. The forklift itself is actually around 8,000 pounds with some load on it, maybe around 9,000. I think that'll be fine on the concrete itself. I ran that by the guy who did our concrete, and he said, yeah, that should be fine. But when you get up to, say, 6,000 pounds of lifting capacity, which is about what I'm wanting to achieve for outside, that'll give you give me the capacity to lift a decent sized bunk of hardwoods. If that ever becomes a thing, then at that point the forklift itself is over 10,000 pounds, and I really don't want to put that inside on the slab. So really, honestly, I'm looking for a unicorn forklift, a forklift that doesn't really exist anymore. I found a couple of them. And I'm willing to travel to find one. So if you guys know of one within 5 hours of North Mississippi, I'm willing to travel to find one if it's a decent buy. I need basically 2,000 to 3,000 pounds lifting capacity and a 3-stage mast to get up to about 14 feet high. I would prefer a propane forklift. Electric, I don't think I would put enough hours on the forklift itself to really utilize the battery before the battery goes bad, and then I gotta buy another battery. Propane forklifts and gasoline forklifts, diesel forklifts, those are all engines that are relatively easy to work on, for the most part anyway. Just talking about a basic before pre-emissions internal combustion engine. So that's where I'm at. I've got so much to do, but there's that one little hurdle or one little roadblock for a lot of the stuff that I just can't seem to cross right now. So that's that. I do have a couple of small tools set up in the shop, so I may just start getting stuff built that is out of order, just because I can't twiddle my thumbs and play Railroad Tycoon Platinum 2 all day, every day. So that's it for this video. You guys take care, have a good one, and talk to you later.